Hi. Oh, yeah, there it is. So this is my poster. It's about user groups, why and how, and you can see the title is Together We Are Better, because we're all great on our own, but together it can be even better than that. I do have some printed A4 versions of this as well, so if you want a physical copy, come and find me at lunch or whatever, and I will also make it available online at some point. So obviously you can see there's a few different areas. The QR code goes to a video of a presentation I basically did about this, so if you want to see kind of a longer version, you can, and I will tweet that as well. So why do we need each other? Well, as we've kind of already heard this morning from various different people, it can get lonely if you're the only person in your institution, and I think for a lot of people, at least initially, it does tend to be just one person going, but Mahara, we can do stuff with it. And that can be really frustrating when everyone else is going, no, you're being ridiculous, what are you on about? So finding all the lovely people that are here today and being able to talk to them and share pains and all of that can really help keep you going and not let you just kind of give up because no one else seems interested. It can also help give you a different perspective as well. We can all be guilty of kind of getting trapped in our boxes and only seeing things a certain way and getting all hung up on bureaucracy and processes, and actually sometimes talking to people from other places and hearing them go, well actually I do it this way, or going perhaps having ideas about the way you're doing things and saying, well have you tried doing this, can also be really useful and refreshing. Crowdsourcing knowledge, and that can be really good. Obviously things like today are good ways of doing that, as well as within user groups. Pool resources, which I will talk more about later when I do my presentation, but bringing together different resources we might have within the context of a user group to produce something good, and working together and sharing projects. I then got a little bit about existing user groups. So looking online, these were the ones that I could find that exist at the moment. So you've got Mahara, which is the Scottish user group, Kiwi user group, Mug in New York, which is the Mahara user group, the Australian one, Mugsy, which you can see I've got a bit more about because that's the one that I'm from, so slight bias. And question mark, you. Hopefully from today some people may want to go and start their own. I know that Mum, or Mahara Users Midlands, seems to be gaining some traction. I know Teresa from Warwick, so if anybody is in the Midlands area or knows people who are using Mahara and would be interested in having some people that perhaps they can get in contact with a bit more frequently and support each other and share ideas, then I know that Teresa, who's nodding vigorously, would be very keen to hear from you and get something going. And there may be, other areas where people want to start stuff. And of course, certainly Mugsy and Mug are both available online, so even if you're not from the areas, you can always tune in. So you've got the Mugsy Twitter, and get some ideas there, and we're not exclusive. We're not going to discount you just because you're from elsewhere. You just might struggle to make physical meetings. So starting a user group, I've kind of got some tips here as well on sort of from my personal experience how it might work. So it's just about setting it up, and to do that it can be quite useful to utilize existing groups. So with Mugsy, one of the ways that we got started was by talking to people within Muggle, which is the Moodle user group for Greater London. Nothing to do with Harry Potter. And it was from talking to people at Muggle that I kind of got an interest that people would be interested in a Mahara user group, but that it should be something separate from the Moodle user group, and kind of from there it was able to develop and get the message out. There's also a lot of message boards you can use online, so for example, coming from sort of a London-based university, there's like M25, and but most people, certainly in the UK, will have like JISC mailing lists. things like that you can tap into just to at least get the initial message out there before you have sort of individual contact details to go off of. And advertise in relevant newsletters. Mahara has a newsletter. So that could always be another way of getting people to get in touch with you as well. Obviously then it's about finding a space to have the meeting, and having a meeting is a really good way to get started. These things can obviously be difficult because sometimes it's really easy to get caught up in thinking it's a good idea and having a few people who are like, yeah, it's really good, but then never actually doing anything. So at a certain point it is really important to actually have a meeting, even if it is only 7 of you in a classroom by the side of a swimming pool in Brighton, which is how the first Mugsy user group started. Take notes, I would say, is a really important thing to do with user groups, and that sort of comes into fruition in step 4. Blogging about meetings and tweeting about meetings, it's really valuable, which is why it's good to have notes so that you have something to go off of. People quite often can be hesitant, particularly to start with, about getting involved in something they're not really sure about. It's kind of like at weddings and parties. Most people don't want to be the first person on the dance floor. So if you can be the slightly crazy person who is the first person on the dance floor, then quite often people will then warm up and come out and join you, and they're like, oh no, it's fine, I'm not going to be the first one there. So that can be really useful, and it also kind of just lets people know what they're in for. Just to reiterate the warning, be prepared to start small and grow. Like most things, you're not going to sort of go, oh, let's start a user group, and then 100 people are going to come and everyone's going to be really enthusiastic and it's going to be amazing. It may literally be 2 of you at a Costa Coffee who, or other coffee shops are available, just talking about Mahara for an afternoon and then getting more interest. So those are some of my tips. As I said, you can see the video or come and ask me for a copy of the poster, or of course just come and talk to me at lunch about this or anything Mahara. So thank you very much for your attention.